everybody. I'm going to speak in English and I'm going to start introducing Rauya. Okay, so Rauya, please briefly introduce yourself.
First of all, 皆さんこんにちは。アラビア語でمرحباアラビア語でالسلام عليكمアラブとムスリムの挨拶です。So السلام عليكم السلام عليكم and مرحبا. I am sorry to speak in English because my Japanese language is not very good, but I can understand Japanese a little bit. So, I will introduce myself. I am Rauya Jamous from Aleppo City, Syria. It's one of the oldest and inhabited cities in the world. Actually, I have studied Arabic language at the University of Aleppo. And I've got a PhD in linguistics, teaching Arabic for non-native speakers from Malaysia. Also, I'm a lecturer at Cairo University and a researcher in Arabic language education and culture. And I am currently interested in bilingualism. I co-authored many books in teaching Arabic language and its culture, and I have made an application for self-learning for teaching Arabic to non-native speakers. I am married. I have 4 kids, 1 boy and 3 daughters.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. How long have you been in Japan and what brought you here?
Actually, I've come to Japan in 2013 because I've got invitation from Keio University to teach Arabic language at SFC campus. So about 9 years, maybe.
How would you describe yourself, your person, yourself?
It's difficult to talk about ourselves, but I have to answer this question. Actually, I am a very ambitious person and patient and work hard to achieve my goals. I do a lot of efforts to become what I am now. Also, I'm social and I like to get to know other people and cultures. And in my thought, I think we only live once, so we have to think about doing the things that makes us happy with our family and with our self, and I also being satisfied with ourselves. I always think that that I should use the time to do things I love and I want, because when time is gone, it never comes back again. One point also, religion is essential thing in my life as a Muslim person. And it's always the source of my strength and guides me for everything.
Okay, so what do you like to do in your own free time?
Actually, I'd like always to do many things, depend on. But first of all, I like reading and I like walking. And also I like to talk with my family too much. My parents, my brothers, my sisters, and my friends. And maybe you don't know that family in Syria is big one. And for me, I have 6 brothers and sisters. And I like always to talk to them in my free time. And I ask my kids also to talk to my family. So it's very interesting time to me.
Okay, so you've arrived in Japan, and what was your image of Japan before you came here and after you've lived here? Like, how did it change?
Actually, this image in all over the world, I think people have a very good image about Japan because it's a very developed country, and we are in Syria, like always, to buy Japanese products. because it's really reliable. But actually, my idea before I come to Japan was missing. I don't know a clear idea. I don't have a clear idea about the life, the culture, the people, and everything. But when I come to Japan and I live here for 9 years, this idea almost complete. But actually, Japan is still very good, safe, respectable country for me. But one point I don't like that the social relation not very strong here. So that's yes, this is only the point. I hope in the future to be good in the future. I hope the relation between people be stronger and stronger.
So what do you mean when you say like social relations? What kind of social relations are you talking about?
I mean the relationship between the member of the family or with the relatives in general, also with the friends. Actually, for us as Muslim people, our God invite us to be very good with our family and with our relatives. And the parents come after God, so we have to take care of our parents, and we have to contact them always and not leave them alone. And also with brothers and sisters, we have always to ask about them, to help them, to talk too much, and to visit, and to help them in their needs. So actually, we contact too much between us. When I was in Syria, every day I call my mother many times in a day, and I call my sisters every day also. But here in Japan, because the difference in time, sometimes I talk every 2 or 3 days. But chatting with WhatsApp or Facebook, I chat a lot every day. But talking, sometimes video calls or voice calls, maybe every 2 or 3 days. But chatting every day. I may add one point.
Okay.
Related to the relation also between friends. Actually, also in Syria, we visit friends too much also. And sometimes when I have free time for 1 hour, for example, I call my friends, I'm coming to have a coffee with you. Okay, so come. Even I am busy, but you can come and we can do things together. So it's very easy to meet your friends here, and we don't need too much time to prepare for meeting with your friends for lunch or for anything. So that's what I mean also in a very strong relationship between friends and families.
Okay, so you're raising 4 kids in Japan. What are the differences that you feel? There must be plenty, but what are the differences in raising children between your country and Japan?
Actually, this is very big a question because it's completely different because of the great difference in culture and religion between Japanese and Arab or Muslim people. The way of raising children and what we should teach them is very different, actually.
Okay, so can you give us an example? One example. What's different?
Yeah. Actually, for example, clothing, we teach our kids from early age as a Muslim people, for example, to take off a clothes, not in front of each other. And I don't mean boys in front girls or girls in front of boys. No, all of them. For example, boys don't take off clothes in front of boys, and girls not in front of girls, separately. So we teach them that from early age, from 3 and 4 years old, they have to learn don't to show their body in front of each other. And for example, 2 days ago, I visited my daughter's school. She is Ninense. Because I noticed that the type of clothes, swimming clothes, it's very short and very cut. So I went to the school to discuss with them about what kind of clothes that my daughter can put on. So I asked them, for example, to put on long pants until the knee is okay, because now she is very young. And the blouse should be like this. And I'm happy because they accept and don't discuss why and ask me any bothering questions. So the clothes for us is very important to educate our kids from early age what kind of clothes they can do. So also we don't allow to put on very short pants or skirts, or very cut clothes for girls. So that's why, because during the time they will use to that and will not refuse in the future to cover their body or to put hijab. May I add one point here?
Sure.
Maybe Japanese people don't know about this, that here in Japan, when we discuss with the schools or kindergartens about something related to culture and religion, actually they have very good reaction, and they accept and understand the other cultures and religion. And I am really respect this, because all schools my kids go to or kindergartens, they accept my culture, and they help me to do what is related to my religion. And really, they make effort to make me always comfortable and happy with to be with them. So I really appreciate this from Japanese people. Maybe in other countries it's really different. In Europe or America or Canada, sometimes they don't accept and they don't allow Muslim people to do their religion instructions.
One question is: Are your children attending regular Japanese school?
Yes. My kids go to Japanese schools.
Have your children experienced any bullying from Japanese kids because of religious differences? So if so, how did you react?
I am sorry to tell that's happened too much with my son, especially. My son now is ichinen chugakko ichinen. So when he faced this problem when we moved to another city. And his friends become different. So he faced too much problems, and he suffered too much because they follow him and say some bad words, and sometimes they take his own things and hide it, many things. So my son become very nervous one, and hit other kids. I am sorry to tell that, but maybe that happened with some of us. But what I do, I always talk to school about that, and I explain to them it's better to explain to kids and to introduce another culture to kids, because they are just kids. They don't have an idea about how to be with foreign people. They have to know that every people in the world, they have their own culture, their own life, their own shape of body, their colors. So kids, they should be taught from elementary school or before also how to be with others. If they are different in color or different in culture. So at the same time, I speak with my son that he has to be calm down and try to explain to his friends that we are a friend. We have to be very gentle, and we have to spend a nice time at the school. So I have to talk always with my son every day, and I have to listen to him also that what kind of a problem he has, and I don't be with him always. You are the right. No, I have to explain to him if he has done any mistake, he has to correct his mistake. If the other make mistake with him, they have to talk with the teacher and the kids. And sometimes it's very bad problem. We have to talk with the families of kids. Now, actually, with my daughter, she is Ninense. The problem is less than with my son. I don't know why, maybe because different of the emotion between girls and boys, but she has normal problems actually, not eczema, normal problems, the same as any another kids. So always kids, they fight about very tiny things. So that's very normal. So I don't care too much about. Of course, I deal with these problems. I listen to her and talk to the teachers sometimes, but I think it's not kind of eczema. But with my son happened a lot. So, but nowadays, when he joined to Chogaku, we expect me and him the worst, to be honest with you. But we are surprising that the kids at school accept him and doesn't make any problem. And many of them want to be friends with him and come to ask him about his culture and his life. And I am very, very happy and relieved that happened with him now.
Now, what do you do? Moving on, what do you do to teach your kids about your own culture living in Japan? What do you do to teach your kids about your culture?
Yes, actually, I am kind of person who like too much the cultures, not only my own culture, also the other cultures. And so for that, I want balanced life to my kids. So I live in Japan, actually, as I live in my country, as I am in Syria. Therefore, Syrian life is completely clear to my children in food, in clothes, in manner of speaking and behavior, and many, many other things. And actually, we when there are social or religious occasions, we celebrate it with our kids and explain to them the details related to any occasions. And also, we meet with our Syrian friends in the occasions or general meeting. And my kids learn a lot of also from my friends, from another Syrian kids. Also, we talk with our families, video calls or voice calls, and they always discuss about many things. So also they learn from my family. By also reading books and various stories and watching children programs and programs about Syria and Arab and cartoon film about Muslim life and Arab life. So there are many actually resources to teach them the culture. But the first things to me is to be as I am Syrian at home and leave my kids learn the Japanese culture from the Japanese environment, because I can't be Japanese because I come here when I am more than 30, so I don't know good idea and complete idea about Japan. So they have to learn this idea from the resource. I don't want to give any mistakes about the other cultures.
So what are the challenges you face in teaching your kids about your culture and the Arabic language living here?
Yes, actually, in this point, I must always be attentive to everything related to the culture and language, because I want my children to learn in a balanced way their culture, their language, and the Japanese culture and language, because I don't want them to have problems in the future related to the identity and belonging. If I don't know how to deal with this issue from early childhood, I will face many problems with my children, and they will feel that there is a problem in their life and thinking. Therefore, there must be a clear policy at home in dealing with language and culture. For us, me and my husband, actually, we are in agreement that we should only speak Arabic language with our children at home. And they should also speak Arabic language with each other I don't allow them to speak another language. Even when my son was learning English, I don't allow him to speak with with his sister in English. Sometimes we don't mind using some Japanese phrases for games or to read book, but we have specific rules at home with the Japanese language. Actually, outside home, they spent a lot of time in the Japanese environment. So we never worry about their learning Japanese language and culture from the origin resource. I don't have any worry about if they will learn Japanese language or not learn. No, they will learn. I'm sure that they will learn because they are kids, and kids learn the language very quickly and easily.
Okay, so life in general, living in Japan, what are the difficulties you face living here?
Actually, in general, life in Japan for us is very comfortable. And me as a foreign person in Japan, I don't find difference between me and Japanese people in the government. So I have the same rules, I have to follow the same rules, and I have to pay tax the same as Japanese people, and I have the insurance the same as Japanese people. Actually, there is no difference between me and between Japanese people. So that's make me very comfortable, actually, because you can't find this kind of system in another places in the world. I don't know definitely about the another countries, but I feel myself more comfortable from other people in other countries. But actually, as a Muslim people here in Japan, we have some difficulties. We suffer actually sometimes, especially related for obento. We can't actually always. I will talk point after point, but first we can't always find halal meat and halal food. There are specific places from which we buy food, and we cannot buy from anywhere. And this is confusing us too much, actually. If we go to restaurant also, the options are very few, and we have to ask for all the ingredients. And sometimes some of the ingredients we don't know definitely if, for example, contain alcohol or not, because it's not written. So in this case, we don't buy the product. For example, sometimes shoyu, we know that shoyu contains sometimes alcohol and sometimes it doesn't. So when there is shoyu, if we don't make a call to make sure there is alcohol or not, so we can't buy this thing. Also, when we buy snack or food, we must read all the ingredients, and this is very difficult if we don't know Japanese language and if we don't know about the Japanese ingredients, what kind of an ingredient and what does it contain. Now we come to the obento. Actually, I have to make 4 obento every day for my kids. And I don't know what to do. Sometimes it takes me a really long time to prepare the food because most food can't be eaten by my kids. I have menu every month from the kindergarten, and we mark the food we can't eat. Actually, more than half food we can't eat. But it's better than to do everything. So that's helped a little bit. For my son, I do all the obento at school, and for my daughter. The school, for example, can give us the milk or the rice, but not more than that, because a lot of food, it contains mirin, alcohol, pork, and many things. So the obento is really take a time, and I hope we can find the solution for this problem in the future. And one another point for us as a Muslim, we pray 5 times a day, and sometimes we can't find a place for pray. But nowadays, actually, the government, Kanagawa government, actually they make too much effort, as I know, because they contact with me many times for asking about what kind of services help Muslim in Japan. So we always write our notes. So nowadays we can find some prayer rooms in big malls, or for example in some government buildings, or entertainment places. So we can find a prayer room, but you can't find that before, for example, 5 years, I can't find this kind of rooms. But one positive point related to this for pray, actually here in Japan, we are as a Muslim, we can pray anywhere, and Japanese people doesn't put their nose in our life and doesn't bother us, and this make us very comfortable. They respect us and don't bother us. And at schools, for example, when I ask for a place for my son to pray, they accept and to prepare the place. And the teachers remind my son about the pray time. They ask him, "Oh, it's a pray time. Go to pray." So my son said, "My mother, the teacher always remind me. So I think you follow me also at school." So really, this is make me very happy, because this good reaction make us comfortable and don't think and don't be stressful. So I am happy also for that, and I hope also there is more services from the government for Muslim people here in Japan.
Almost towards the end, what is it that you love about raising your children? What are the joys that you have?
Actually, in general, in Japan, it's I feel very happy because I am raising my kids in Japan, because actually there are many services from the government to help family to make the life of children joyful and happy. For example, games and the parks are too much here, and there are libraries, too much libraries all over around, and they always have activities for kids, and plenty, as I said, plenty of parks and games, and kids can spend a lot of nice time outside, and you don't have to pay any money in this case. So it's really different in our country. The government doesn't give us any services for kids, so we suffer actually. So I am very happy here in Japan because this kind of services. There are also playing centers in the social centers, and social centers is in every place here in Japan, as you know. So we can make many entertainment things, and your kids can go to also to read books and borrow books, and actually there are places to play in the malls and in the shops. So actually, children, they have a lot of fun in Japan. Also in kindergarten and schools, children have a lot of fun and joy and learn many useful skills. When the school ask us to buy one set for kids to learn new things and a new skill, actually I'm very happy. Now I have a lot of sets from my son from Shogako. Even it's too much and take a place, but actually I'm very happy because really my son have a lot of skills. He learned too much things, not only learn about math and kokogo and so on, but he has many skills really help him in his life, and it's easy to make anything on it. I ask him. Also, there are great interest in the physical health of children, and there are a lot of sports and health check-up in the school and kindergartens. This is make us really comfortable because we are always afraid about our kids' health. So that's very useful. Also, the most important thing for me and my kids is we feel very safe and we don't worry when we are outside. We don't afraid of accidents. We don't afraid from another things. Of course, every place in the world they have some bad things happen, but really in Japan, I find it very rare if you compare between it and other countries. So I am actually happy to raise my kids here in Japan.
Okay, so do you have any advice to fellow international moms or families living in Japan?
Actually, from my experience as a teacher and as a mother here in Japan, I advise everyone to get to know Japanese society very well and to have Japanese friends, because social relationships affect our lives a lot. So because of them, we can feel a lot of happiness and satisfaction, or we may feel sad. I advise also everyone to transfer his culture to Japanese people and to transfer the Japanese culture and the beautiful things he learned about Japan to his country, because people develop a lot through the transfer of cultures and ideas. Also, I would like to call on every foreign person to have a clear, consistent policy in dealing with the language if he has a kid, if he has children. So also that help him to overcome the difficulties in misunderstanding. And I focus a lot on the need for the child to learn his mother tongue very well, so that it's easier for him to learn the Japanese language and to have a strong language skills. Actually, this gives our kids more opportunities in the future to study or to find a job. At the end, I think we shouldn't have fear and anxiety about our children learning the Japanese language, because the child learns the language quickly, and therefore we must teach them also their mother tongue so that they don't find it difficult to communicate with us as a parents and with our families also in another countries. So I hope always to have this kind of activities, this kind of meetings, and to talk to our kids about people from another cultures, to accept them and to avoid any problems happened in the future. And thank you so much, Misato-san, Yuka-san, and everyone joined this meeting. And I hope you have a good idea about Syrian culture and Muslim culture. And I hope it's interesting time to you.
ありがとうございます。じゃあ、最後に Let us give a big applause virtually to Rao Yasan and all the moms here. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. And bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。本当にありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
はい、さよなら。